Hello, I am Martin Lau and I'm a dietitian at Arthritis Action. Today I'm here to cook some tasty meal with Kate Lawson, nutritionist, food blogger and health writer. So what are we doing today?
We're going to cook a really quick and easy one-pot harissa chicken dish. I wanted to show you a healthy, tasty meal you can make even when you might be feeling rubbish with arthritis.
Oh, I see. You have arthritis, don't you?
I do. I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis when I was in my 20s.
Oh no. Now, I know you love cooking. I bet this is creating all sorts of problems.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when I was first diagnosed, my hands hurt, my hips hurt, my jaw hurt, and I was just so exhausted from the illness. It was a struggle to cook, you know, beans on toast, let alone a kind of healthy, tasty recipe.
This is certainly echoed with some of our members, you know, pain and fatigue, they set in, not a good mix at all. So all the time they tend to rely on ready meals or even snacking with some of the high calorie items. Now, tell me, how do you manage cooking with arthritis?
I mean, it's never easy, but better medication, learning to self-manage, pace yourself, and really think creatively about ways to make it easier for you to cook in the kitchen, some of which hopefully we'll show you today.
Fantastic. So, we have got a mix of ingredients here. Would you mind, you know, going through some of this?
Sure. So we've got 300 grams of chicken. I've bought it chopped up just because it's easier like that. Of course, you could chop it yourself. We've got lovely red pepper, and you can see I've kind of hacked it up rather badly. That doesn't matter.
No.
Apparently, you know, a lot of the phytonutrients are in the white of it, so you can feel happy to do it that way. Some lovely whole grain couscous. You can use the ordinary type, but this just has a bit more fibre and a little bit more flavour. Chickpeas, some coriander, garlic oil, tomato paste, and some really great punchy harissa.
Well, I mean, as you mentioned, it's quite punchy. I better not upset the harissa then.
So first I'm going to heat the oil in the pan, and actually one tip I do have if you've got a heavy dish like this is to keep it near your work surface, store it near countertop so you're not having to kind of lift heavy things out of the bottom drawer, just slide it along. So first I'm going to heat the oil. So this is a mix of sunflower, olive oil, and it's infused with garlic. So it saves you having to chop, peel and crush a clove of garlic, which can be really fiddly and quite difficult if you've got arthritis.
Yes.
If you could lift my heavy lid
Oh,
for
crikey,
me.
it is quite
thank
heavy.
You. So I'm going to heat this. And then I'm just going to gently fry the chicken in here.
Okay.
Well, kind of until it's no longer pink on the outside.
Sure.
And then we can add in the harissa. Lovely, thank you, Martin. So harissa's great. Really full of flavour, makes a quick, easy meal. And actually, when you have arthritis, having kind of curry paste, spice pastes in the cupboard is really useful. Saves you on chopping and mincing things. But you just want to watch the salt content of some of them, because some of them can be really, really salty. And then tomato puree.
Tomato puree.
Now I'm gonna do something a bit odd with the tomato puree. I'm gonna deliberately brown it, which is called making a pinçage. Probably not quite pronounced like that. And the reason why I'm doing this is it adds a lot more flavour to the finished dish. Kind of gives an umami taste.
Nice.
Kind of makes it a bit richer, and it gets rid of that slightly unpleasant tinny taste you can get with tomato puree sometimes. I'm going to put the pepper in now. Lovely pepper, full of vitamin C, one of the few vegetables that both my kids will eat.
Not to mention, you know, the lovely red colour, again, you know, the carotenoid, fantastic.
Exactly. When I was first diagnosed with arthritis, Martin, lots of people would say to me, are you going to cut out peppers and the nightshade vegetables? Why is that?
I was going to say, you know, you've got the peppers, you've got the tomatoes there, you know, the perfect recipe for somebody who would turn around and say, look, I'm not going to use those ingredients.
Because I've got arthritis.
Absolutely.
Seems
I mean,
counterintuitive.
it is an ongoing belief that people living with arthritis, in fact, both form of arthritis, whether it's inflammatory arthritis or osteoarthritis, they believe that, you know, nightshade vegetables, it contain this alkaloid, which is called solanine, and it can cause a lot of inflammation.
Yeah.
But you know, any sort of like clinical data, we couldn't find anything.
There's just no evidence.
No evidence. And what's the funniest part was a 2011 study looking at your bell peppers.
Yeah.
They actually reduce the amount of inflammation in the body. Strange, isn't it?
So the opposite is true, in fact.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say that there are some people experience you know, sensitivity to tomatoes, because tomatoes itself contain, you know, a compound. I'm not going to go, you know, too scientific here, but it does release histamine, and histamine is a pro-inflammatory compound that can make your disease activity
can irritate
worse.
some people.
Yes, indeed. But I mean, on the whole, most people don't display that sort of effect.
And should we be eating a kind of Mediterranean diet then? Kind of fruit and vegetables, lots of nice olive oil?
It's a fantastic question that you're asking here, Kate, because you know, there are a lot of clinical data supporting the use of Mediterranean diet. And in fact, in the 2009 NICE guideline talking about rheumatoid arthritis, it did mention briefly, saying that, okay, you know, you can, you know, use Mediterranean diet, but I think one key area that I need to stress is, you know, diet alone will not make your disease activity go away. And I think at best,
no magic bullet.
No, and at best, I think diet is like an adjunct to your medications.
Yeah, and your healthy lifestyle.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to add the chickpeas now.
Oh, lovely.
And I'm going to add the stock. And chickpeas are great, aren't they? I mean, a good source of fibre, B vitamins.
B vitamins and magnesium, yes, they're extremely handy. And again, you know, not a lot of people in the United Kingdom tend to use chickpeas.
Yeah, people are put off by pulses and beans and things like that. I mean, they can be a bit of a pain to get out the can though. I've got a handy little gadget there I want to show you, and a nice tin of chickpeas. So I've got this that you can use to help use on ring pulls and things. You can put it under there. I know some people like to use electric can openers, but you've got to find what's right for your pattern of arthritis. And that's one of the things I'd say. There's loads and loads of gadgets out there. It's brilliant for helping you cook with arthritis, but you really need to think about what your pattern of arthritis is. My hands aren't too bad, so I've got good dexterity, but my wrists are weak. So for me, it's things like silicone bakeware, lighter pots and pans, that kind of thing.
Definitely no one size fit all.
No, and the other thing I'd say actually about, you know, when you're in the kitchen with arthritis is think about how your kitchen's arranged. I don't know about yours, it might be more organised than mine, but you know, a lot of the stuff we have is just there because that's where we unpacked it when we moved in, and you live with it day to day, and yet it's a really unhelpful, uncomfortable place to have it. So you need to kind of get someone to help you rearrange your kitchen so it's right for you, and it's not another barrier to you cooking.
Good point, definitely. So you're going to add the
couscous now, yeah. And we'll stir it up so everything's well mixed.
Smelling really nice already.
And then got everything all around. We can just cover it.
Sure.
And we can just turn the heat off and leave it to steam quietly for a few minutes.
Quietly?
Yeah, quietly. Great, well that should be done about now. I'll go get a plate and we can dish up.
Sure.
If you could just lift it up for me, Martin, as it is heavy.
Problem.
Smells good, right?
Oh, tell me about it. You've got to make sure I'm not running off of this, the whole pot.
I have a hard time. Great.
Right.
We can give it a garnish if I put on some almonds. Maybe you could artistically do some coriander for me.
Just like MasterChef, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely. Looks good, thank you.
Well, thank you, Kate. Well, I hope you really enjoyed, you know, making this at home. I guess it is only, you know, one thing to do, you know, after this is to wash up, I guess.
Yeah, that's for you. I've done the cooking. At least there's only one pot.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching.